Hi there, Stamping friends. Here's our make and take project for this month, the month of February 2017. I saw this card on two different YouTube channels, on Stamp with Tami and also with Griffith. And it's fun to watch two people do the card completely different, and I'm going to even change a few things too. So let's just get started. They had received that card, or a similar card, in a swap that they'd done with a demonstrator named Karen Duke. So this is a Faux Quilted Technique. The cardstock you're going to need is a card base of mint macaron, a piece cut at 3 3/4 by 5 inches, a piece of silver foil paper to cut the dragonfly, a piece of glitter paper, silver glitter paper for the detailed dragonfly, and then I took a scrap and cut this out with the oval stitch framelits. That'll be these right here, this set. Stitch Shapes framelits, that's the name of them. The dragonflies come from the set Detailed Dragonfly Thinlits. And then the word that I used, I took from Bloom and Love, this word friend right here. So, and then I also cut 4 pieces that are 1/4 inch wide. 2 of them are cut at 4 inches and 2 of them are cut at 5 inches. So I'll show you how to proceed. We'll go ahead and fold our card base. Then this piece of cardstock, if you don't have the diagonal score plate, which was around a long time ago, this is the way that Dawn suggested doing it. This is the piece that's 3 3/4 inches by 5. So you would take this and put the corner to corner, and then score this with your bone folder. Then you move that score line over to the 3/4 inch. So this whole long piece will be at the 3/4 inch. Well, I gotta get it there. There, so it's at 3/4 there, 3/4 here. Close this, score this. Then this line that you just scored, you move this over to the 3/4 inch line. Score it. You do that all the way to the end, then you turn your piece of cardstock around, move that center line over to the 3/4 inch, line it up, the tip and this tip, and then score it and do all along. Keep moving it to the 3/4 inch. And then you would turn it and do it the same way for the other set of scores. So I already have this one piece scored. And then you're going to, the indented lines, you want to take those and fold those in. This is the debossed side. And I'm just folding on all those score lines. Then I'm going to take mint macaron ink and a sponge dauber. And sponge on, it'll be on both, end up being on both sides of the score line. And I'll show you what works really easiest for me, rather than trying to flip it back and forth, is just to do all the score lines one way, like so. Then turn it over and do them all back the other way. Just keep going until your card is completed. Okay. Now you're going to turn it and do the other set that goes the opposite way. Dawn said you could do this either at the 3/4 inch intervals or 1 inch. She also did a card with squares on it instead of the diamond shapes. So there's a variety of things you can do, ways you can do this. almost done now. I just got to turn this over and go back the other way. Okay, now that part is complete. Pardon me. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over, and this is what works for me. So when you're doing the glitter paper, or in Dawn's case, she did the layer behind this was done with the gold foil. Okay, let's see, I want to do this first. So I'm going to do both of the 5-inch pieces first, and I'm just adhering this 1/8 inch double-side tape. So here's what I show. This piece right here, this on their card was hers and Tami's was a solid piece, and they cut the dragonfly out of the middle. But I just thought that's still a lot of waste. So what I've done is I've just used this 1/8 inch tape, cut these 1/4 inch strips. 2 of them are 5-inch, so I started with the 5-inch ones first. And you want the glitter side up. And then I'm just going to estimate so it's about, just kind of center it down the center of that, the middle of that strip there, okay? So then I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to center this piece. So you have about the same overlap on both sides. Then I took a pair of scissors, and if there's any hanging over, just clip that off. I have a little bit on. Okay, the other two sides are fine. Then I'm going to come back in with the score tape, and I'm going to go over that piece, those 2 little pieces of glimmer paper I used right there. On both sides, both ends. Okay, now remove that backing. Do exactly the same thing. Now this piece I did intentionally cut a little bit longer, just so that if these pieces weren't, you know, if they buried, you wouldn't be short here on the sides. So just cut those so that they're even then. Okay, and we just have one more piece to put on. And trim those little ends off. Okay, so there's that piece done. Now I'm going to take a glue dot, and I'm going to take some of this silver thread, the silver metallic thread, and I'm going to go around, I don't know, about probably 4 times, 5 times. Oops. This stuff is wonderful, but it is so thin that sometimes it slips right on my hand. Okay, and trim that. Then I took a glue dot. And I just kind of pinch this together here. And then I put that in there, and then I just kind of wrap it around. So it kind of seals that a little bit. Then I took another glue dot. And I just stuck this down. Then once you get that done, then you can separate these little fiberish type things. Take your glimmer dragonfly. I put one on the head and then one down. one on the head and one down just a little bit more. So I have 2 of them there. Then I'm going to take my bone folder and just round these a little bit and put that right up on top of that. A couple more glue dots. Okay, make sure your glue dots aren't showing. Then I just, let's see, how do I want this? Just stick that over the other glue dots that are holding this down. Okay. Okay. And I just kind of pull that up and those wings up a little bit. Then I have this other, the oval, the stitched oval, and I have stamped in Versamark the word friend, and then I've gone over it with silver embossing powder and heat set it. So I'm going to put the glue dot on each end of this. There we go. And I'm just going to put this right down in here. You could also use dimensional tear, pop that up. Then I want to attach this to my card base. And I just do that with Tombow liquid glue. There we go. Now the last thing to do to make this card complete is to use the dazzling details, and I'm using the silver. And if you're concerned about how this is going to start coming out of the bottle, because sometimes it doesn't, maybe it's not all mixed or it comes out, there's an air bubble, just test it. I just do it on my craft sheet because it'll come right off there. And then you just put a dot at every interval where these cross. And I want to tell you that if your silver thread gets caught in here, it's okay. Let it dry. And then when it is completely dry, you can come back and just pull that right out of there. So I'm just going to do all these points where these crosses meet. Oops, see, that blob was a little bit bigger than I wanted it. Sometimes you can get the air out of the bottle and suck it back up in it. And sometimes you cannot. Oh, there's one I missed right there in the middle. Okay, I think I have all of them that are showing. I'm going to try and take a toothpick and just pick up a little bit of this and wipe it on my craft mat here. Try and bring that back into a more circle shape. Alright, so there you have it. Now you have to wait until that dries. It doesn't take an awful long time. I didn't time it today, but you know, you're not going to want to drag your hand through it like I did this one right here. And I tried to clean it up. It still shows a little bit. But these are the finished cards. Here's one. I took this one and I used 3 jewels at the bottom. I did a rectangle with the square stitch framelits and stamped "Enjoy Your Special Day" from the Dragonfly Dreams, I believe it is, from that stamp set. So very beautiful. I appreciate all the information and inspiration that you can find on YouTube. And I hope you're inspired. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.